You find yourselves here with the Flaming Fist. Their major is a head taller than his interrogatee, Rick, and the major is tonguing his molars as he tries to make sense of what he has stumbled upon. Behind them, a singular wagon with sunmelons is being guided north along the road toward the docks. A Fist Lancer lazily follows, his horse trotting as he escorts with casual intent. The northern wind has the ashes of an Arc Druid on it. And on the south road, another Arc Druid is coming up the way. He looks like there is something on his mind. His fingers are curling as he approaches. The actions with the party.
Where is the Zone of Truth?
The Zone of Truth is centered around two tiles to the east of the Cleric of Tempest. So one tile southwest of Utilda.
So do you believe me now? The elves?
The Major looks at you with a measure of trust. I suppose I'm forced to. But you all seem reasonable enough. You're free to go. If there's anything you need from us, please let us know.
You said you'll be based in the south of town, is that correct?
We'll be set up in the market until all of the melons leave by barge and by caravan, which should be done within, well, just shy of 48 hours, 46 hours, 44 hours, and then we'll be well on our way, unless you need something from us. We are here to keep the peace.
If you wouldn't mind answering a quick question, just for my curiosity, those wayward Lithandrites that gave you trouble, were they human or elves?
They look between each other. The Cleric of Tempest answers for the Major. It was a human.
Thank you.
Rick, why don't we accompany you back to town?
What's going on over here? Nothing, Dad. Just words. The Flaming Fist Major nods. Just words. If you are within 15 feet of Ed, which this is Kaysen and Tilda, make an insight check, DC 11.
$18.
17.
Both of you realize the same thing with your 18 and 17. Ed is sizing up the Flaming Fist, looking for an opportunity. The actions with the party.
I'm going to... Okay, is he looking at us or is he looking at the fist?
He's sizing up the fist. You see him looking sidelong. You see him looking out over his shoulder, out of the corner of his eyes, counting and noting and assessing.
Can I say a single word in Celestial to Noe?
Of course, why not? Yes.
I'll say in Celestial, danger.
Noe looks to Ed, puts on her best customer service smile and say, Ed, we were just looking for you, actually.
And why is that, Arsinoe?
Well, I had hoped my mother might have already talked to you about why I specifically need to speak with you, but we just came from the Druid Grove up north and intercepted Rick, and we're all heading back to town. Why don't you come with us? I see that sun melons are already loaded for the day. There's no reason you would need to interface with these soldiers here.
He lowers his voice. I can think of a couple reasons.
Why don't you tell us all about it on the way back? They're going to
Yeah,
be here
middle
for a
of the
while.
road's no place for a lengthy conversation. It's been a long week. Let's not make it longer.
Which of the two of you do you think should make the persuasion roll here?
No way.
No way. Roll persuasion, DC 21.
Okay. I'm going to guide myself.
Okay.
So she utters a quick prayer to Shantea under her breath.
Let me slap a bardic inspiration on top of that.
How big is your bardic?
D6, I believe.
I'm looking up. I think I don't have my character sheet on me, but I think it's D8 at level 5. It's D8.
I stand corrected. Plus your guidance, 1d4, plus
Yeah.
Tilda's bardic inspiration, d8. Go ahead. You were going to say?
Just give me a second. I'm going to roll this within roll 20 for transparency, so I have to roll several things in step.
Tilda will hiss, firm handshake.
If it's in any way clunky, you do not have to roll it in roll 20. However you'd like to do it.
Okay, so with my +4 from charisma, that's 21 exactly. Right? Let me double check.
Please do.
No, I missed. Sorry, it's not. It does not meet 21.
Is it 20 on a 21? Is that what it is? I think this does matter. Is that what it is? Is it 20? Did you miss this DC by 1?
No, I rolled with advantage and looked at the wrong number, so it's 8 plus 5 plus 4.
8 plus 5 was 4. 17.
You rolled a 1d6, not a 1d8.
Oh. Okay. Math. Plus 5 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 8 is still 19, so 2 under.
Did you by chance accept a potion from Julienne today?
She did drink a potion by Julienne today.
Sounds like you have another 1d6 to use.
You get you get alchemical inspiration, yes, which stacks with bardic inspiration as stated. So yes, extremely relevant.
19.
19.
And technically her wait, sorry. Let me
Technically,
look up
you
something.
critically fail, is what you're going to say, I believe.
Yes, technically I critically failed.
You tell Ed that this doesn't need to be settled in this way. He claps his son on the shoulders and sizes him up. Then he looks over at you, Arsinoe. Oh, I don't know. There's something funny on the air today.
She subtle spell calms emotions on him.
Beat me to it.
Okay, let me read the spell text on calm emotions. Is there a save?
There's also different flavors of it.
Especially, let's see, reading,
We could
reading,
both
reading.
cast it. I don't mind that. It's a charisma 15 save.
Yeah, you can kind of cast it to vaguely target a group of people and just kind of lower the average general emotion, or you can make someone indifferent towards a group.
I'm trying to make Ed indifferent towards these flaming fists.
And this is a 20-foot radius. Are you? Although it doesn't seem. I don't think you have to affect everybody within the radius. I think this is like smart targeting. So are you But just in case this comes to pass, are you centering the 20-foot radius around Ed? Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, and you said DC 15 charisma saving throw. Okay, 1 second. He rolls a 4. He fails. You reach out to Shantea. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And
I think she reaches out to Shantea and then also has a hand on Tilda's shoulder as she's bolstering her.
Ed's moving his fingers. It reminds you of something. It looks like he's thinking about casting a spell. And then he pauses. You seem to have tapped into something here. A combination of your various overtures have at the very least bought you a little bit of time, Arsinoe. Ed looks vaguely mollified. His nostrils flare. He's not an owlbear yet.
She gives Tilda a look that says, we're right on the knife's edge here. I'm doing my best. And then looks over at Rick and tries to say, Rick, I'm sure you need to speak with your father as well. You haven't yet.
Yeah, I guess I could come up with some things to talk to my dad about. He makes eye contact with you, and you can tell you're of one mind. Fine.
Jason is just like
We're-
looking at between. Oh, sorry.
We're going for a walk then? Rick nervously produces a cigarette, and without looking, Ed takes it out of his hand and flicks it into the mud. You were about to say something, Tilda?
Yeah, I think it's about time we all got going. I think we all have places to be that are better than right here. I will take a step toward the south.
Agreed. Rain will follow suit, hoping that the momentum carries the rest.
So you
Not
two
looking
haven't
back.
talked since we were all, looking for missing people last night. I get that there's a lot on our minds and it's been a long night, but Ed, would it kill you to, tell your son you're relieved he's alive, considering we, found a dead body yesterday? Would it kill you?
Case novo mater. Ed whips towards you and sticks his big meaty finger into your chest. Don't tell me how to raise my son. If he hadn't made a series of stupid decisions, he wouldn't be in danger. He wouldn't be potentially on a list of missing people. If he could keep his head out of his ass for one day at a time.
I wonder where he gets his impulsiveness from. It's a mystery.
Let's carry on. We all have our heads not so much firmly deep our asses, firmly on our shoulders.
Jason, I understand your feelings, but could you maybe not rile him up right now? Wait until we're over the bridge at least.
I almost died looking for his kid. I would.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I know I ask a lot of you, just not right now, please.
Ed is striding alongside you. Every once in a while, he steals a furious look at you, Kaysen.
I'm going to sidle up next to Chucky. Chucky, a fight almost broke out there. I'm gonna cock my head toward Ed. It's not clear whose side we'd be on. Just wanted to warn you.
Well, I don't exactly have any love for the Flaming Fist.
Yeah. Same. They blew up my fucking house.
He's trying to
You see him look back at the flame fist and look back to you.
And you'll let him walk away?
Chill, did you say that loud enough that Ed could have heard you?
I was trying to be a little surreptitious. I
Well-
probably wasn't the most careful 18-year-old girl.
I think if you were trying to be surreptitious and he is 15, 20 feet away, kind of walking with someone else, I think you remain unheard.
Chucky, there are ways to win that don't involve sticking somebody with an arrow every time.
Sure, but not quicker ways.
You know, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue, but... yeah.
Julian,
I'll nervously thumb my saber.
Laird's looking for you.
How? Since when?
Probably since this morning.
Duly noted. Is he at the manor?
I have my doubts that he'll ever leave it again.
Did he tell you directly?
He nods.
How's his health?
Worse than it's ever been.
I'm not surprised. The fool has probably gone off and done something else unsupervised.
That fool may be the only reason any of us are alive right now.
I understand that. I do. But there's always better ways. He's being impulsive and he can ask for help. But he won't.
Rain, as you almost bump into Rick on the road, he mouths something to you. Do you have a cigarette?
Close.
Please. My fucking
Rain.
dad. You were saying?
Rain rumbles through his pack. Recognizing that, by all accountants, Rain came into this town pretty lowly equipped, and he has also handed almost all of his possessions away. He recognizes that the box that would contain anything smokable is with Kaysen, and nudge Rick towards him.
Rick looks reluctant to step more than a few feet away from his dad, who is, perhaps despite the circumstances, a little protective.
Ed, if I may for a moment.
Ed stands 10 feet onto the bridge, turns and looks at you. The water is rushing below him. You may. What do you want, Julian?
I don't want anything. I want to thank you for not escalating with the Flaming Fists. We have problems to sort out with them, and it would just bring more trouble to the town when we already have other things to settle, so... I know it was hard, but deep down I know you put the town first. In maybe an indirect way.
Julian, he cracks a little smile at that. It's unclear if this is sardonic or sincere, but he gives you a long nod as if he's mulling your words over. I would do anything for the people that matter to me. Go ahead.
Before the party crosses the bridge, seeing that Noe is trailing a bit behind and overhearing what Ed had told the rest. Noe, I know you want to be evasive with your father, but what if what Ed has said is true? He gives a long, drawn sigh. I don't want you...
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't want you to regret not saying something when you still have the chance to those you love.
She nods at that. I think it becomes apparent too that she is lingering in part to keep an eye on Rain, especially if he needs any assistance while walking. And she says, if his health is as frail as they say, I suppose there's no reason for me to hide it. And she's saying this very quietly to Rain. My mother told me that he discovered the previous night what I am, and I do not want to put him in the position of having to choose between what he thinks is right and having a daughter.
Rain just kind of grimaces.
I made that choice for him.
And I think you will have to continue to do so without his stead. If you don't mind, I don't know how this is going to go. Rain shows obvious trepidation towards crossing clear water.
I'll be by your side, Rain.
You always were. He'll take her shoulder as they try to pass the bridge.
Cason of Omater, you realize that Ed is getting closer to you and menacing you a bit closer to the edge of the bridge. He seems to know what he's doing. What are you doing here? You guys don't want me to fight the fist, is that correct? What's the goal here? Why are you carrying water for them?
I came here looking for something that I never wanted, something that someone else did. I don't know, I felt like I was just being carried along, and now I found people that I'd like to stay with. But I have this feeling that when everything's over, I'll probably just move along. I'm not really sure what I'm doing here, but someone just told me that there's wayward Lathanders off to the west, so that's... I guess it wouldn't be lying to say I'm here looking for someone.
Ed swallows and looks back south. You sense that this wasn't the answer he was looking for, as if he was prying for something.
Look, I'm not trying to lie, I just don't know specifically what you're looking for.
Let me ask you this a different way. Where were you just now? Where did you come from and what did you do?
He like freezes and looks back at everyone else like, really? I'm gonna be the one answering this? You guys trust me to lie?
Could ask you the same question.
I have no idea where you've been.
We were at the Druid Circle. I could ask the same of where you've been and what the hell you've been up to as an owlbear the last few days.
He looks like he was just about to drop it, and when you said Druid Circle, he looks directly back into your eyes, Cason. What did you do up there? Did you make a deal with Dez?
How do you know, Des?
He narrows his eyes. How do you know Dez?
You all don't have to protect me anymore.
Ez was recruiting the local youth into a cult, and they had some very strong feelings about that they wanted to sort out.
Miss St. Cyr, I think you do
Yes.
still need protection. Thank you very much. Did you make a
What?
deal with Des? Don't lie to me. I'll know if you're lying. Did you make a deal? What did you do?
I let him turn me some time ago. He is dead now. We understand that he is still trying to strike deals among townspeople here, but we are not part of his ambitions.
He's dead.
Again,
Yes.
truly.
I don't believe that for a second. Who killed him? You?
I think she raises the visor so that he can see her scorched
Arsinoe?
facade.
He pauses as if to say with his eyes, "You were so beautiful. There is no way that you killed something that old and powerful."
It wasn't a you, it was a we. And I patched her up as best as I could. If you don't trust them, I'm sure you can at least trust me to verify that he is very much dead.
I thought you said you would know if we were lying.
At this point, I'm just not sure that I believe you.
Then don't.
I think I choose not to. One moment. Rick, stay with them. Let me past. He tries to get between Rain and No Way. Do you let him pass?
Where are you going?
North. I'm going to the Grove. If what you said is true, I have to see it for myself.
There's stops along the way, then.
It'll be dark by the time I get back.
I didn't answer my question.
No stops along the way.
Can I roll an insight check?
You can.
I think. Sorry, let's let this roll resolve first. Yeah.
6 total.
6 total. Hard to say.
What will you do if you find them alive?
No offense, but why am I telling you my business? I barely know
Well,
of
you
your
just-
business.
You just interrogated us for ours. It's always one way with you, man.
Maybe because a complete lack of information caused us all to, I don't know, attempt to ambush a druid circle, and I don't know, if we didn't kill what was there, and it's there after us now.
You know, Ed, like it or not, we did something up there that probably impacts you more than you're letting on. And if you had just talked to us from the beginning and treated us like the equals that we are, maybe we wouldn't be in this pickle. You're going to run off and do something else mysterious. Wouldn't you rather have us as allies?
To that end, I would like to clarify some things and maybe save you some time. We burned his body. If you have reason to believe that that's not enough to deal with an elder vampire, of course, I would like to go with you to help put that to rest. We also canvassed the camp and recovered anything of interest. If there is something you are specifically looking for, we may have seen it or may be carrying with us now.
Roll persuasion at advantage. DC 15.
Do I get double advantage?
What, like roll 4 times? Take the highest one? No, I think no. Advantage does not stack in 5th edition.
I know, yeah. I'd like to give myself guidance again. Oh, nat 20. Never mind.
Okay.
With a 20 on die, Ed whips his head around and stares at you, Tilda. I didn't give you enough information, so you awakened the shadow of evil over these lands. That's great to know. You burned his body. I'd love to know how you made his body. Are you telling the truth? You killed him and burnt his body.
Well, if he was still up and walking around, we wouldn't have been able to take his things, would we? Is this anything you recognize? And he'll unwrap the canvas from the odd replica sword at his side.
Also, tug at my new purple bespoke cloak.
Do you have any idea what you've done? Why do you have that? Give me
No,
that.
I don't know what it is. I have no idea.
Let's go now.
I'll wrap it back up.
Ed looks over his shoulder as he walks south. Does anyone not follow? The party is seemingly moving south. Also, Latch, do you need a second?
He said he needed to AFK for 5 minutes in Avernus chat.
Okay, sorry, I did not see that. Okay, give me 1 second. Why don't we take a 5 then? Why switch the map?
There are always bits on the river.
Pardon
No.
me?
It looks
Say-
good.
Say again?
Like the zhuzh to the river bits, like the rocks and wave crashes.
Andrew continues to step up his game.
Yeah, don't tell me, tell him. I didn't make
Nice
it.
to meet- Wasn't sure if it was new additions or we just always run the night map.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen this during the day. Probably, but yeah, I mean it's very cool. It's very detailed. It's very well done.
I don't recognize the little canvas in the corner. Oh, I love all the tools of working on the patch job. That's so cute. Oh, the little shrunk down sign, like as a mallet.
You
Oh, that's so clever.
you cut out there for a second. The little sign.
The little signpost like shrunk down to look like a mallet. That's so clever.
He's too powerful.
He's too strong now.
Cute.
Okay, everyone's here. Everyone's good. Okay. On the river, sorry, as you're above the river, Rick turns to his dad. You know, I saw something crazy out there. His dad looks like he's about to open his mouth to say what, but Rick finishes his thought first. It was like a 20-foot spider.
Wait, what?
Brilliant.
What?
Yeah, I don't think you saw that. I don't think you saw a 20-foot spider. I saw a 20-foot spider.
She looks to Tilda and says, "Is that an avalanche?"
No. Lolth is the queen of spiders. Kareen.
You know, hopefully
Did she
she's
ascend?
not having a fun time somewhere far, far away from here.
Where did you
Just-
see this, Rick?
Rick looks overjoyed that someone other than his father is showing interest, and he says, "In the forest, to the east, walking around, right over there."
Was it?
It was
Did
big legs, body, but
Did it have the body of a man? And the legs of a spider?
it was kind of in the trees.
Wait, hold on. I will dig out my Volo book and thumb to the Drider page. Like this. Does it look like this?
Kind of, yeah, but he seems to be trying to scale it, but much
Bigger.
bigger, taller. See, this one, he says, tapping the page. This one comes up to, what is this, 5 feet? This one was much bigger. Like,
Did they speak to you?
his dad is ushering him along. I don't think it saw me.
Well, that's very good.
I was just on break. I was having a cigarette. I saw the thing. You know, I'll never get used to this thing where there's no one at the guard post. Where is your brother?
I wish I knew. My mother left town to find him.
I was looking for him last night before I went looking for you.
How long's your brother been gone?
He went missing yesterday. I saw him last. We had an argument by the St. Cyr Manor when Alcinerat came to parley with the St. Cyrs.
An argument about what? Anything relevant?
I'm sure you wouldn't care. But he's gone. I have a theory that he rode west.
We
And
found
somebody
what
rode
looked
with him.
like- we found what looked like it might have been the paint from my shield that I gave him by Tilda's old house.
What are you doing housing-wise, Tilda?
Right now, I'm just holed up in the tavern. I don't know what's going to happen. My mother and I aren't on the best of terms, and after all this is over, I don't know if there's a place for me here anymore.
Let's step to the side here.
Vacation, if you would.
Ed keeps his voice down as he passes his fellow union members following a freshly loaded cart. The smell of sunmelons is thick in the air. It's almost like you're inhaling syrup.
What does a sunmelon smell like?
Like an overly sweet cantaloupe. You can hear the sounds of the horse as it clops along on the bridge.
You know, seeing that Fist person passing by was making me think, I feel like the Fist lied to me up there.
No kidding, they lied to you.
Strong chance.
I don't think it was all humans in that company that they saw.
Oh, that's what you thought they lied to you about. Yeah. I think they're here to just take all the sunmelons. Why wouldn't they?
But about those Lithandrites, I hate to put this into words, but I think we might have another problem to add to our stack.
Well, what's that?
Well, remember this little notebook that I told you that, someone died for this? I ended up with it. I never read it because I felt guilty about it. It's leading to a legendary artifact, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I think the person that's looking for this might also be here, and if they're already heading west, there's probably another person looking for that damn thing. And if he finds it, he's gonna walk out of town with it.
Wait, did you think this artifact was the...
I'm just starting to think it's one and the same.
Maybe Tilda should read the notebook?
I don't want this thing. I never wanted it. If someone else is interested in this, be my guest. But
Kason, I love books.
I've checked out some of the stuff in it. There's fun little poems and recipes and people's old homework and stuff in here. But there's, I don't know, it's like a bunch of different...
While Kason's speaking, Tilda reaches for it and takes it out of his hands.
It's like a discussion between different, students and mentors and whatnot, but
As Kason is speaking, Tilda is ignoring and trying to determine if this is a magically worded book.
It is not. It has a number of dialogues. This tome, as you flip through, has the handwriting of a number of different pens. A profound number of people wrote in this book, and it details several things. One is their faith in Lathander and their search for Lathander after he went quiet before the spell plague. And eventually it settles on a singular goal: finding a legendary sword that a paladin of Lathander could take up. Nothing is magical about it. It's more historical. The pages
What language is this written in?
It's written in Common. Consistent with your expectations for a Church of Lathander. As you have this handoff, Ed whips around and looks at you, Kason. Why do you have that sword?
because it looked like the one that Solarin wanted.
It looks like the one that probably everyone wanted, and now Now Des can't do what he wanted to do. I actually don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, when you blot out the sun, it kind of destroys the food web and kills all life on Earth. Do I need to spell it out with art or something? Why does no one understand that blotting out the sun is bad? He would have destroyed things for everything, including his own people.
If this sword, perchance, has the capacity to spark whatever giant tree that Des was intending to raise, what's the other option? It's clearly powerful, yes?
You could say that. And as a result, a number of parties are seeking it out, including your compatriots, as I understand it, he says, looking at you, Juggy.
Jucky kind of crosses his arms, says,
Now, where'd you get that idea?
Well, let's see. All the elves of the West are going to Isherin. They're going there seeking Sahendrian, Corellan's sword. The Lathandrites are seeking Scalebreaker, a different sword. They think it's in the same location. I think this is more than a coincidence. If you think the elves are going there because it's their ancestral little village, I think you must be mistaken. Or naive in his case, he says, gesturing toward Kaysen.
Well, I know if my past is following me, we'll have at least a trail of blood to follow to find that sword.
Yeah, speaking of being followed, he'll gesture northwards. I see. Why are we going to the inn? Time is ticking. We have 3 armies moving.
We need to go to the manor, and then I really am starting to agree with Chucky that we need to get a move on to Isherin.
Dismayed as I am to the idea, if it is what is causing friends included, I don't. If it's what's letting you walk in the daylight, then yes. If they take it from here, you can't stay either, unless you have a giant supply of parasols.
No, I don't understand yet how this connects with my father.
And perhaps we should ask him.
Ed, are you after the sword?
Absolutely not.
Insight check.
No. Nope. Out of character only. Go ahead. Go ahead, Tilda.
Why?
Why? Why what? Why am I not after this piece of mithril that everyone seems to desire? I have more exigent concerns.
I would like to cast Detect Thoughts. Is that legal?
When you say legal, you mean according
Does that break the fiat of the sequence?
No, it does not break the fiat of the sequence. Let me read the spell text on Detect Thoughts. Is there is a chance that he can tell that you're.
Yes,
I don't give a damn.
remember from last time
She
when
can
no, I
let's
did
see.
it.
his thoughts for free, but if she goes deeper, he'll know.
Yes, just rereading.
I
Okay.
was going to cast it and then ask, like what? And
Well-
then see what it picked up.
It picked up. His surface thoughts. You can imagine rotating in space a delicate skull. I have greater ideas than swinging a sword. I don't care how sharp that thing is. It's not really relevant to what I am trying to do with my life, nor Laird. Your father also understands, Arsinoe, that there are greater things to do with power than infuse it into a weapon and swing it.
Hilda will disengage from Ed and think about what she's gotten.
Ed takes a step closer to you, and he continues his thought, begging you to stay inside of his brain for one more moment.
Can't help it. I will do it.
What are you looking for, Tilda? My secrets? I don't have any. I want something that's been taken from me, just like Laird.
Yeah, what is that? You've been dancing the last week. Don't act like you've been forthcoming.
He holds up his hand. There's a ring on his fourth finger.
I'll get closer to it. Can you describe the signet?
It is unadorned.
I will cast...
Expecting, he says, waiting for you to fill in the blank. You're casting something, Miss Hawkwarn?
Detect magic.
You cast Detect Magic. I'm
just curious.
It's mundane.
I'll say that out loud. I'm just curious.
It's mundane. You detect no magic.
Huh.
This is why I can't be forthcoming with people like you, because I doubt you would understand even if you had every piece. Now, if you're going to go talk to your father, I recommend you do it soon.
You know,
and me,
Ed,
go ahead. In character.
you underestimate everybody around you. Everybody. It's kind of sad. I'll get my last word in, swirl on my heel, and walk away.
You do so. Ed puts his arm around his son's shoulder, who looks over his shoulder at the party as if he wishes he was going with you and not his dad.
Before they leave, Noe turns to Ed and says, with your understanding of my situation, is it even wise for me to face my father?
No, Arsinoe. No, it's not wise for you to face your father.
Then I should go with you.
What a strange conundrum you have put your father in. He would kill for you, right? He would do anything for you, and now you've put him in a situation where he feels like he must kill you.
She tears up.
I've never been so glad that my son, despite his disappointments, has never put me in the situation that you have put your father in. I dread his life from now on. But if you want to go and see if he still has the strength in him to disintegrate you, there's only one way for you to find out, isn't there?
Did she do a religion check to see how much of this is Char speaking through him? This doesn't feel like Ed entirely.
It sounds like you've already rolled this check, doesn't it? It sounds like you've already resolved this roll.
I think it's clear to anyone watching her that this emotionally hurts her to listen to, but she does square her shoulders, and I think it looks as if she's making to follow after Ed. She does turn to the rest of the party, specifically to Tilda, and say, for your safety and for my father's continued health, please do not mention to him that you've seen me.
Wait, you're leaving us? Why?
I need to speak to Ed about something? I
No
do
way.
not think you need me there. You don't need me there, Tilda. You're so smart.
No, I
This
I
will
don't
not be
think.
the last time that I see him.
And you're sure?
I
If
think we
you're to
have
live a
plenty of
life as
things
long
like
as
that.
mine, if not longer, no, I do not wish you to hold those regrets for an eternity.
No way. I understand. You have to do this. Tell me exactly when we'll meet and where. I don't want to be up all night looking for you.
I'll meet you back at the tavern. How long do
2
you think
hours?
it'll- 2 hours, yes.
She won't need the full 2 hours. I'm going home. If you want to have a conversation with me, Miss St. Cyr, it better be quick. I need a word with my boy. But
I'll hold out my hand in front of Ed while he's speaking. Yeah. I will hand No Way my booklight and say, my mother does divination through objects familiar to people. I think I can find you if I have to.
Ed,
Okay.
Ed turns to his son. Go home. I'll be there soon.
As he says that, I will kind of like lightly toss that little box that Rain gave me towards Rick and say, travel safe, please, all of you.
Rick grabs the smoke box and grins as he realizes what it is. He walks off before his dad realizes what just happened.
I see we're a little fickle with things of personal protection. Sentiment is actually what he said, so.
Hey, I have to travel light.
It's my family's crest, Kason. I gave it to you in good promise.
Ah,
Humans call that regifting. It's pretty rude.
ah.
At least you still have your ink on you, right?
Of course.
I know
Well,
you do.
I think of it like a promise that we'll all see each other again and we'll get that back from him. We'll
To seeing each
definitely-
other again.
Jason, about Ed. You shouldn't try and shame people who can't feel shame.
I was just trying to get him to, I don't know, show something. I mean, his son could have died. There was a vampire on the road. People were looking for him, but I guess I shouldn't give him too hard of a time. It seems like he's, I don't know, at worst enthralled, at best not himself, according to everyone.
I think people like Ed don't care if their son dies or lives. I think he cares that he has him on a short leash. Someone listens.
Rick has been in and out of fights. Truant from school. You know, just burning down barns, everything he can since he was a kid. And I get why. It's the opposite of my problem. All the expectation, but none of the help.
Agree as much. Tilda. Is Noe already far enough away from earshot at this point?
I think they've been walking apart. She is
Mhm.
accompanying Ed.
I know
That's
that
right.
you may be dense sometimes. My question is simple. I'm only here for every summer. My history with the St. Cyrs isn't as deep as I might say or lean into believing. Did her father remarry?
I would imagine this is a question for me.
This is a question towards Tilda.
No, I
You
understand.
probably wouldn't know.
Go ahead. You
You would
are.
rely on Tilda being closest with Noe to know.
I apologize for interceding then. Go ahead.
It's okay.
No way, what do I know?
Did Laird remarry?
Correct.
As far as I know, Josan and Noe have the same mother. And they've been together since college, their schooling. It's been, Noe understands their marriage to be something of a fairy tale in her own mind.
No, but it's always been a little bit of a weird one.
She's
People have whispered for as long as I've been alive.
As long as I remember as well, the Laird is old. Ed has a son. I'm assuming this is while we're still en route towards the St. Cyr Manor.
Yosan, yeah, I think Yosan. I think they're with my brother right now.
I'm speaking more to their loss.
Not to
Their
interrupt
loss.
dialogue, but Jillian will say something about a patient being in need, and she will already be far ahead heading towards the manor while everybody else is talking.
That makes sense.
Yeah, we'll trail behind. Rain, you said you were going to speak plainly, and that didn't.
I don't wish to poke a bear that I don't quite understand. I think a ring is a ring is a ring. On a ring finger, its name so much as this, Tilda, you've read so many riddles and puzzles, you can piece this much together, right? Who's missing? A mystery. You can borrow my novellas.
Who's missing? So many people are missing right now.
Who's missing for Ed?
His wife. But he's slept with every elf that winked his way or spat his way for as long as I've been alive.
Bless him for it. If he is lost the same as her father, that would drive someone to do such things, to cast magics that kill them.
I cast Detect Thoughts, and I saw a small skull. I haven't had a time to look, but I recall something about
As she mentions this, Rain's heart sinks. He regrets not asking someone's name. Describe it in detail.
I only got a glimpse at it. I have one question for the DM before I improv it.
As you wish. Go ahead.
Was it adorned with anything? Like jewels?
You're asking from like a ceremonial perspective, right? Like a
Was it trussed with it? Yeah, like is there a gem in an eyeball, or maybe a tooth, or maybe a crown of sorts?
nothing like that. No. Certainly humanoid.
It was a person's skull. Really, more than the shape of it, it was just kind of little. It was frightening. It had some sort of dark energy to it. That's why I stepped away from him. I didn't want any part of it.
When Rain had a dream this morning, does this click to the same semblance?
Could you ask me more directly to make sure? I want to make
Sure,
sure that
yeah.
I'm not sending
There
you
was
down
a-
the wrong path. Go ahead.
There was a lich-like figure in Rain's nightmare in the morning.
Correct.
Did they adorn a skull, or were they more wrought with flesh?
More the latter. This does not seem to connect to your dream.
Very good.
I just want to speak very clearly. I'm not trying to overcook it too much, but yes, it's you do not see a connection to what you experienced last night.
Well, Rain does go pale briefly. You see him collect himself a bit. Perhaps I'm a bit too deep in the novellas myself. We need to speak with her father.
Her father does not like me.
I don't think her father likes anyone, truly, except her before this.
I once overheard him refer to me as that common Loch Laren girl.
More than just Laird says as much about the two of you. It's hard enough not to hear his things. Don't let them get under your skin, Tilda. You're more than that. You're more than a class divide in a tiny little fucking city. You're Tilda. You're Tilda. He clasps you on both shoulders and urges you a bit forward. And now we're going to go speak to a very powerful wizard.
Thanks, Rain. You know, you're the only person, other than maybe No Way, who believes in me in this town.
Show them. You don't need belief. You're no god. Show them.
I'll thumb the
Well-
pages of my notebook as I move along.
Which notebook? Your notebook? Your spell book?
My purple spell book.
Okay, just checking. Arsinoe. Ed looks impatient. Well, what do you want? What was so important?
My mother said that I needed to speak with you further about my situation, especially as you've seen I cannot go home.
Yes, I pity you. Yes, I do not think you can show your face to your father.
She said, and she sort of looks down the road a little bit just to make sure nobody's approaching and then turns back. To be honest, I would not have thought to come to you with such things, to burden you with my protection, but she said that you would understand because you yourself made a similar deal once upon a time.
Me and your father set out long ago to right the wrongs that have been done to us. Your father has sacrificed most of his life for you. And it would kill him to know what you've become. He already made a great sacrifice for you, and you stymied it by giving in to this unnatural being that you've become. That's what he can't stand. He already gave up his life for you, and you marked that out with ash by giving in to vampirism. Of course I know what you are. That is what is so sad about you, Arsinoe. You didn't know that your father already gave his life for you.
Does this hurt you to speak this because this is what you worry Rick would think of you?
His lip quivers.
I'm sorry. I know that Tilda said earlier, judged you for not doing enough for us. I wonder if we have not done enough to honor your sacrifice. I made the choice that I did because I wanted to continue living. I understand the gift that my father has brought into this world, and I wanted to continue it, to make it have been worth something. And even if it comes to blows, I will love him, and that will never change, and that will be the same for Rick. No matter how deep the shadows around you get, it cannot sever the light that connects family.
Arsinoe, when you were born, you were this little 4.5-pound thing, tiny, weak. There was nothing there, really. Your father spent the bulk of your youth doing anything he could to stave off sickness from you. And now he is bedridden, a tangle of limbs. He can barely move his arms. All of this he did for you. And now, in the face of that, you gave it all up to get bitten on the neck, to spit in the face of not just nature, but your own nature. Me and your father knew what we were doing was wrong. You were supposed to be protected from this. You were supposed to not have to make the same decisions we did. And now, barely out of school, you've given up your humanity. Your father already sacrificed everything for you, and you erased it all in one fell swoop. And now, in the waning days of our plans, we're just trying to keep it together for a few more days so that I can get my family back and Laird can get his body back. If you go and talk to your father, I think he will kill you on sight. I don't know what else he could do. I don't know if your mother can protect you.
What can I do for you?
Honestly, don't judge me when the time comes.
You know Rick would rather have you as you are, have his father, than whatever facsimile Shar is promising you right now.
He holds your gaze for a moment and turns and walks away down the road toward his house. The action can be with you or the party.
I think she follows after him, but I need a minute, so I would appreciate a scene cut.
Absolutely. The party is heading northeast towards St. Cyr Manor, is that correct? You're moving off the map. Is that your desire?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, one moment.
Yes, in case and we stepped on the last thing you were about to say, if you recall.
I'll tip my tongue. Give me a minute. Oh. Just to distract ourselves a little bit from the dread of what we're walking into. Where are we going after this? I figure we should regroup with Arsenoi at the tavern.
The tavern in 2 hours.
I know there are people in the party with varying needs for sleep and rest, but I am getting a little uneasy about how much of a head start these other parties have on what we're all converging on. Should we stay the night at the tavern or attempt to set out on the road and make camp somewhere when we tire?
I think that'll depend on the manner of our meeting here.
Just something
To be
keep in
honest.
mind. Just something to think about.
I'm not convinced the sword is the font of power here.
Maybe it's the place itself.
Then why can No Way walk in the light?
I mean, maybe if Bez and his group have been, burying things here for 1,000 years, maybe it is evening to star itself somehow, or a combination of things. I can only hope that it's things that aren't easy to move out of Evening Star. For everyone's sake.
Well,
It's just Evening Star. You bring up a very valid point. I haven't thought of this too much. They're situated to the north. It's not just the hallowed grounds of Evening Star. How far out does this go, this umbrella shading them from the sun?
Because we walked quite some ways.
If it's all the way down in Isherin, then it spreads out far. If it's just these lands, inundated with seed bombs of magic and a cave full of a flower that can bring back the dead. Again, I agree. I think our direction is mostly following this conversation.
Well, even though he didn't share specifics, Ed knew what this thing was that I'm carrying, so it is
Yes, and Des had a very
something.
poignant idea of swapping it. Much as a fake, yes? No magic, a dull blade.
Something odd about it, I don't know.
Oh, you think this is a fake for when they come back or to trade? But Ed said he didn't care about it, and I believe him.
Ed's did.
As they're walking, Kason will like close his eyes and spin in a circle a few times with the sword held out in front of him and see if like he stops in the same direction each time or if it's just random. So as they're walking, he's just like spinning around while holding this incredibly long sword out, trying not to hit anyone.
The sword does not seem to influence you. It feels inert. As you spin around, it doesn't even feel well balanced. It doesn't feel like a proper sword. You think back to training as a paladin in your former life, if you will. A sword has a better edge than this. A sword has a better balance than this.
I mean, not made for combat. Can I investigate the hilt of the sword and looking to see if the like edges and curves and divots are like extra well defined, like it might slot into something. Just kind of going with weird little spitball theories here.
Could this be like a key that fits into something? It could. It could. No investigation check because I don't think you have enough to go on to really warrant a check. But you sense that just like anything with a complicated surface, it could slot into something, say a statue, a massive keyhole, something like that. But you have no way of being certain. You don't have much way of testing this theory yet.
So just to probe, one last thing is Rain is an elf, and Handrian seems to be an elf word. Does it translate to something?
It is. It may. This is known to you and Jucky. This is Corellan's sword. This is, as far as you know, when Elestrier sought to poison Corellan, Corellan, briefly mortal, hid his sword away here on the Prime, as far as you know. Elestrier was unsuccessful.
Yeah.
As we approach the manor, is there anything alarming?
Yes, it's
any evidence of people.
It's very quiet. It's very deserted. You notice a lack of things. It seems eerie. In every winter and evening star, Tilda, there's always far less people here in town. And it's not quite that time of year yet. But as your feet crunch through the gravel here, you realize that you're used to seeing people come and go. Where is everybody? It's just very quiet here now.
Especially given how many people are in town due to sun melons, flaming fists, elves.
Someone's missing.
And this is the most important person in town.
Approaching the door, you see that it's closed.
Is Julian waiting at the door to try and open it?
I imagine she's been knocking on the door and would attempt to open it after several knocks.
You, I guess you can't hear me knocking. You rap firmly on the door, Julian. There's no answer. However, you notice something. Up on the second floor, there was movement up there. Someone's home and someone heard you knocking, certainly. If they're pretending not to be home, they're not doing a very good job.
Is the door locked?
It is. When you jiggle the handle, it clicks. It's locked firmly. You sense perhaps magically warded.
I'll look at Chucky.
It, in what manner?
Like, go ahead.
I don't even know what we're doing here.
Well, what I am trying to do is get inside to a patient that has allegedly summoned me. Now, the door is locked, and there is movement stirring on the second floor, so... And this door is not cooperating as well.
Chucky, this man who lives here, when Elcinarat came to town, this was the most important person to speak to. He's the most powerful person in town, the most important person in town. And anything we might know about the sword, anything we might know about Des, the vampire we just slew, he's the one to talk to.
And didn't Alcinarat not get a chance to talk to Laird, if I remember correctly?
We were ushered out before that happened,
Mhm.
but I think they spoke. Alcinarat doesn't strike me as the type to just give up.
I'm a bit predisposed. There were many that came through, though. You all had left. I heard many footsteps ahead. Someone came inside.
If we have questions, this is the person to talk to. And we have questions. I imagine you do too, Chucky.
Yeah, I reckon.
I don't
I
believe they're the
promise
type
there's no
to...
wolf shrines in this building.
And I don't imagine they're the type to keep a key under the mat. There's a service entrance in the back.
So then why not use the service entrance?
I intend to.
Well, it's the best thing we can try. The fact that I was never given a key is still a bit asinine, but it is what it is.
At least you're allowed inside.
That is true.
The grass and wall are well maintained. The stones, granite. Below you, you can hear the watermill striking the river. The star water burbles through the valley.
Rain will jiggle the doorknob.
It's unlocked.
Way is clear.
How fortunate.
Let the door open in front of him.
The door
If people
opens without a creak.
I think you should make the way, Julian.
Very well. Probably best that I do, yes. Maybe trail behind for a moment or two, so if he is nearby, he doesn't feel like he's being ambushed.
Yeah, we've done enough of that lately.
I think they know we're here.
Yes.
Yes, well. Regardless.
I'll stay in the foyer.
But you're all going inside, is that correct? There may be limited... Okay, one moment.
There's always limited.
You were quickly arranged here, so feel free to rearrange yourselves. The actions with the party.
Julian will quickly head to the southern door and open it.
It opens
Chucky,
silently.
I imagine you want to find that sword, that Corellan sword.
He just shrugs.
Is this door open as well?
It is.
There's a
Surely the door's
surprising amount
open
of people.
behind
Mark.
her.
Didn't hear either of you. Kason, what did you say?
I was just gonna say to Jucky, there's a surprising amount of people not tempted by overwhelming power in this town. I'm proud of all of us.
Don't be.
Some people just don't care for swords. Never lacked them myself.
So if it was an enchanted crossbow,
Nah, I'd never give up Chrissy.
Can you imagine how many arrowheads to bolts you could make out of an entire sword?
I preempted two other people. Rain and Julianne also had something.
Yes, I was saying Julian will leave the doors open behind her, and then does this southern door open as well?
It does. This is Laird's enchanting workshop.
Is this door still bolted?
The door to your east is open.
Interesting. Rain,
Yes.
didn't our little goblin friend, before he took a trip, jam this door pretty firmly?
To tell the truth, I was downstairs. They locked that door. Outside of this, I don't know. In either case, it's been days. I would assume that they've unlocked their house. The rest is.
Can I examine the locks and everything? Does it look like it was forced open, or
Across the
mended?
table, Sporgle locked the one, or jammed the one leading to the basement specifically.
Oh, I thought it was this one.
This is, yes, it's the one. Whoever's purple, the door that's being pinged. It was the door at the top of the stairs.
Oh, okay. My
But-
apologies. Scratch that then.
No, no. I mean, should you wish to go into Laird's office here and roll an investigation check on the door, you certainly can. That is your prerogative.
Yeah, is the basement door open?
That's the door that was jammed. It is no longer jammed or damaged from what you can tell. You can roll investigation to attempt to discern more there, but it doesn't seem to be open right now. I'm sorry. That was very bizarre wording on my part. It currently so the door the door is closed, but it doesn't seem to be jammed. Is what I was trying to say. Like there's no overt sign that there's like something clogging up the lock.
Okay, in that case, Julian will still pose the same question to Rain, just from the office. And 19 to investigate.
With your 19 on investigation, this seems to have been at one point you can see where the keyhole, something must have been shoved in here because it's slightly bent, and some of those bends were hammered out, but you can't quite get something like this back to the way that it was. So there was something in here, but it seems like it was fixed by careful, dexterous hands. Someone
Still, though. Not unlocked. Or rather, it is unlocked.
It is unlocked.
Wow.
And the most powerful wizard in town, above a machine that none of us know what it does, leaves it unlocked. But the front door warded, yes.
Yeah.
I would check upstairs.
Okay. Let's poke upstairs first. You do make
I don't think it's a
excellent
let. I think it's a you.
point. Okay. Listen carefully. If you hear any commotion, come up immediately.
We're on it.
Is this door open?
This door does open. You're now on the other side of the front door. You can see that it is dead-bolted shut.
Deadbolted front door, but everything else is unlocked. How?
Oh, there is a foyer.
Candles are illuminating the foyer.
They're probably upstairs. We should just wait here.
Yes, I think I would agree. Sounds like he's a bit of an itchy disintegration finger at this point.
Julian, you're going up by yourself, is that correct?
Correct.
One moment. There's a closed door at the top of the stairs.
Does it open?
It does. Stop where you are. As you step through the door, roll perception, DC 17. You see something out of the corner of your eye. You, one moment, realize that there is a rapier pointed at your face. With her other hand, Rebecca goes, she whispers to you, "How many are there with you?" Are you here to kill Laird?
I was told he needed a checkup.
Who sent you? Sorry, did you hear that? Who sent you?
Ed.
She drops the rapier. Very well. My husband's in there, but I don't know what you'll be able to make sense of. I hope you were able to make whatever he asked you to make him.
It's in progress.
What were you about to say, Jackie?
Does the rapier clattering to the floor make a noise?
She doesn't drop it like this. I mean,
I got you. She lowers her hand.
Yes,
Okay,
she
okay.
lowers it. Exactly. Thank you for clarifying.
I guess before I step in, any other warnings?
If you harm him, I will kill you. I will kill you and I will throw you in the river.
Well,
And if you come in, I'm coming in with you.
that's perfectly fine. As his wife, you have the right to do so. Now, mind you, if I haven't killed him now, why would I do so? Or if I haven't killed him in the past, why would I do so now?
Because things are happening.
Things are
What-
always happening. Regardless, he is my patient. He is sick. I have a duty to this. I will see it to the end.
Very well, but I'm watching you.
That's perfectly fine. I will write down my process too if need be.
She gestures toward the bedroom door as if she's too reluctant to open it herself.
Can I make a perception check or anything against her? Is her hands shaking or any other noticeable signs of fear, anxiety, or anything like that?
Yes, she's very nervous. No check necessary. She's very nervous. Anxiety is clearly running through her veins. She's not shaky because she's not a shaky person, but anxiety is obviously flowing through her veins. She is at the very least scared.
Okay. So keeping that in mind, to not try and escalate her mental situation any further, she will gingerly open the door and whisper, "Hello, Laird. Julian here for your checkup." And she will step inside.
Laird is lying in an unnatural position. His spine is very tense, causing his stomach to bulge up toward the ceiling. His head is buried in pillows. As you enter, his right leg twitches.
Well, this is a new one. She'll quickly rush over. Can I roll a quick medicine check to just while approaching, to just get like a surface level analysis?
You can. Roll medicine. DC 12.
23.
23. With a 23, you see that whatever ataxia that Laird was once plagued with has clearly taken over his body. He is a writhing, twitching mess. Occasionally, a single syllable, seemingly apropos of nothing, exits his lips. It does not seem magical. He does not seem to be poisoned. Something seems to be affecting him, but it's unclear that it would fall within the realm of medicine. It's not an affliction, so to speak.
Is it magical in nature? Is he cursed?
It seems like it could be. A moment ago, let me clarify something when I said it's not magical. It's not like it's not like there's a spell on him, but you sense that there could be something arcane driving what's happening to him. No check allowed for this one, but it seems like, yes, there's probably a connection to something magical, as virtually everything with Laird is. And as you circle the bed looking at him, his words occasionally gibber forth. He says, one more.
One more what?
One more. His eyes are wide open, and he looks up at the ceiling. Rebecca is watching you from the door. She takes one step in and studies you.
Rebecca, has he muttered anything else besides one more? Do you know what happened?
Nothing sensible. He calls for Ed. He calls for his daughter. Of the 5 people you brought here, is she among them? Have you seen Arsinoe?
Not recently, no.
Would you lie to me?
No. Of course not. Have I ever?
I don't know. If there's something you can do for him, please do. I know that he asked you to come up with some elixir to permanently fix his condition, and I understand that you are close, but obviously he is close to something as well.
I guess it's just a matter of race then, at this point. I can alleviate the pain for now, but I'll have to go back to my lab and get the results, and I can rush back. At the moment, all I can do is just stabilize him for now.
She nods. Then do so. If you can
And I shall.
If you can do something for him, I plead that you do.
I will do my best. Using every remaining healing concoction medication that she has on her, she would minister to Laird, straighten out his body, elevate his head for breathing, and try and get him into a sensible position so he does not harm himself anymore.
Any intervention that you attempt to make, it reminds you of when you attached the light spell to your vial and threw it. But it's as if you were throwing thousands of those into an ever-growing shadow. No amount of vials or lights can bring the light back to this place. It is a shadow growing ever taller and taller and taller.
Not an acceptable outcome.
Do you see?
I do.
If there's nothing else, then please leave us, let him rest, and take your friends with you, your compatriots, your 5 companions.
I plan to. However, I do understand with the commotions as a physician around, it's some helping hands are nice here and there. Competent ones at that.
Rebecca holds your gaze. Her hand is still on her rapier.
If you must strike me down, go ahead, but at least let me go get my medicine first and see what my results are.
Then go.
Obviously, his stabilization takes priority. I need a moment.
As you take your moments to continue stabilizing Laird, what's happening on the first floor?
Jucky realizes he has tracked in mud all over the place, and he's like, "Uh-oh!" And he like walks over to the carpet at the front door, and he's like wiping his boots off, and it's just getting worse. Like, it doesn't help at all.
You are defiling this great manor with your thoughtless mud.
I think it dawns on Rain to ask Tilda finally. The Bitch Queen, she's not taught, I would say. You know things. What is she like?
The bitch, the goddess of the sea?
Yes, we've been over this. The one that made me vomit minnow.
Yeah, she has supplicants. She usually takes orphans and women who are very young and supplicates them in her fashion, rules mostly by fear. And sailors pray to her so that she doesn't smash their ships.
She's doing a good job of it then.
I don't know what she said to you, but I can't imagine. I've never even seen the ocean.
Let's pick
Honestly, most of the writings about her are fantastical.
She wants
Way
me to-
less.
No, hold
Sorry?
on, Tilda. I'm sorry. I think I'm putting a few things together here. She wants me, Rain Denevere, to drown the Underdark.
Well,
I had hours, and I'm past it, and I'm not mad anymore. Locked in a basement 2 feet that way. And do you know what I found there?
what's that?
A tunnel into the Underdark. I think I've got it a
From her
bit
Evening
wrong.
Star?
Yes, very much so. I would assume as much. I've been thinking about this incorrectly. I didn't think that my troubles bled through his. I don't trust Des. That much is clear, and at the very least, I may have... Rain goes through every stage of emotion all at once. I don't trust his words, honeyed they may be. I asked him one thing, and I looked him dead in the fucking eyes. I don't think I was manipulated. I think I actually did bring him back to life. I think this little white flower that grows in the fucking caves to the east. Why would you shape stone to such a place?
Rain,
I think he's trying not to die. I think that's what he wants.
I think he wants to die?
I think he's trying to get back. If he was married and he lost someone in the past, what else would you do? If you cared for someone so much, would you not upend Earth to save them, to bring them back? It seems as much that Ed would be willing to do something along those lines. And if Laird is the most powerful wizard in these places, of course I would dig so fucking far down there to wrest my brother back.
Laird, if... I don't understand how you can drown the Underdark, though.
I'm missing the forest for the trees here.
There's a powerful artifact that Ed thinks he has his paws in, the skull of some sorts.
I don't think he wants a sword or a skull or any of those things. I think they want what's down there. Why
They
else
want-
build a machine so fucking big?
They're clearly trying to channel something, and Laird, I'm sure, wants his body back.
Oh.
It's unnatural that when you cast a spell, your body suffers.
Sense of sundering, maybe not so much.
The magic's creeping back in the land. There's no reason why he should suffer such a fate unless he was
went
drawing
too
his
far.
power for... I'm sorry, Kason?
Unless he went too far and cast something outside the bounds of, even the most powerful sorcerers, maybe.
Or unless he's not a wizard, but a warlock. Well, he's not a wizard, he's a sorcerer, but you understand my point. I don't...
I've heard of worse things, Tilda. You may not be barking up the wrong tree there. If you were the most powerful man in a city, and magic was rent away from you, you would do anything to hold on to it, wouldn't you?
I don't think I would, but I understand your point.
If Ren was laying dying beside you, you don't think you'd reach out? You'd ask anything to save those you love?
Well, every week I dream about my father, and every week I try and bring it back, and it doesn't work, so I don't think that would happen.
I'm sorry to talk to you as if you didn't know loss, Tilda.
But that's not the point, is it? You're talking about somebody who is at the end of his rope, and I can understand that. They don't care about the swords.
No. They don't. That's troubling.
I think Ed sent Alcinerat toward the swords on purpose.
I'm sorry, did they speak?
Yes.
And Ed was the one to elucidate him of this?
Oh, I didn't hear it.
I'll send her out in a while.
That's a brilliant fucking move if it is.
Whatever.
I know you've been speaking of underestimating everyone around him, but perhaps we've been underestimating Ed. If he moved an army out of town, and they're tight for time, I don't think we go to Esherin. I think we go down.
Into the Underdark.
As loath if I'm to say it, yes.
Can
I
I
know I made
talk
a
about?
promise, but I'd have to split up.
I'm
You
sorry,
need
what?
to go to see. You need to go to the sword cason.
Not to the sword, to who's going to it. I need to find. I just have to know. I have to go west today or tomorrow, but I can't wait very long.
Let's work this out bit by bit first, just so we all have all the information. And the one thing I want to point out: the Drider.
If it was, it could be a big spider.
I have lived here all of my life and never seen a giant spider.
If it is, that means it's not the only way down. What I'm saying is, when I went through, the tunnel wasn't that big. Canonically, the tunnel going down to the darkness, the 20-foot spider could not have come through that, correct?
That is correct.
There's another way out.
How far do you think those tunnels go? Is there any chance they would pop up west or south?
It's an unnatural entrance. Weaved by magic. Smooth. Like a really powerful wizard wanted to dig deep underneath their own manor. If the Underdark is here and it creeps out, and we know that it does, who knows how far out they could go? Tilda, I know that they tell you not to go to the Druid's Grove. Did your mother tell you not to go anywhere else? When you were a kid, when it was dangerous, what was the most dangerous place that she told you not to go to?
Past the river.
And perhaps we look there.
I want to draw your attention to something, Rain, or someone that you got out of your hair earlier in the week.
Yes, I sent her there on purpose.
Yes, but if you're seeing a large Drider walking around town, first of all, she's from the Underdark, and she probably got here that way that you're discussing.
Indeed. But she was more than willing to go.
Second of all,
I don't
if
think
there's a giant
she-
Drider, perhaps she slew the Aboleth. And what we're witnessing is the avatar of Lolth.
I don't like it. You may be correct. We are taking quite a time.
Well, he is very sick.
There's been rumblings.
I imagine about this time Julian will probably be walking down.
I concur.
We need to talk to No Way. I bet she got something out of Ed. He still won't tell me what it is. He can be as smart or stupid as we want him to be. But whatever the object is that can bring somebody back from the dead, cure Laird of whatever Faustian bargain he made, shouldn't we at least know what it is? Otherwise, we're just charging into a cave.
It's the flower. He needs the flower.
I've
That
said as much.
I
is
know.
the most generic statement you could have made.
You mean the white flowers we've been mentioning for days on end? Yes. It is generic. I need to go to my lab. I need to get what I've been experimenting on and bring it back to him. And after that, we need to find that flower as soon as possible. He doesn't have much time.
Is there anything we can do to buy him time in the meantime? I have a couple
Find the
healing
flower.
You need to know it then. Meet us at the
Yes.
inn. I think we should go at the back.
I think as a group we're making this exit. I don't think we need to walk through the map unless there's something.
I concur. In fact, I will do you one more facilitation. Are you going to the Lonesome Tankard? Is that the goal? So we don't have to move through maps. And if I could briefly spotlight Arsinaway, are you also going to the Lonesome Tankard? Okay.
She's following Ed for a little bit. There's a little bit more that she wants to do before heading over to the tavern.
Okay. I have a little bit of background noise going. Do you think maybe could we call it here? I think I need to go. Is it okay? Could we chop it here? I think unfortunately I just need to. And we are off next week. We are not playing next week. But I believe we are set to play the week after. But if you could let me know if you can't make the 12th, that would be ideal. But we're off the 5th, playing the 12th. Okay, sounds
Pretty
good.
good.
Okay, I'm going to stop it here. Good night.